The treatment protocol is then complete, but often homework is given consisting of repetitions of the same algorithm, the 9-gamut, the repeat algorithm, and the ground to sky eye roll that were used during the initial treatment. Thought field therapy does not necessarily assume that one sequence fixes the problem, or that the need for further sequences signifies something unusual or failure, and therefore many TFT repetitions are often used. TFT spends a significant amount of time talking about allergic reactions and environmental toxicity, but in my experience they occur very rarely and can be eliminated by precautionary measures, such as not wearing jewelry or perfumes before a session. In my practice, this problem occurs only a handful of times a year, and therefore I don't automatically restrict these substances. All of the early pioneers of energy psychology were innovative and courageous people who had an open mind and were creative enough to blend both Eastern and Western thought together. All of the energy psychology systems are effective, quick, and often less painful than other techniques. Roger Callahan is one of these pioneers. Dr. Callahan's system is relatively easy to learn and very effective. The protocol is regimented and therefore easily replicated. His popularization of the concept of psychological reversals has been invaluable, even though it is my belief that many of these reversals are due to a combination of temporary loss of polarity due to the general stress of dealing with a traumatic issue, plus the lack of identifying the original trauma by manual muscle testing. Although Dr. Callahan relies on his algorithmic system most of the time, he does use some manual muscle testing periodically. Several of his students have recently begun to incorporate more extensive manual muscle testing. This would include John H. DeBolt Jr., who has modified his system and called it Evolving Thought Field Therapy, or EVTFT, and Fred Gallo, PhD, who developed Energy Diagnostic Treatment and Methods, or EDXTM. The cognitive behavioral bias, the theoretical difficulty of believing that the algorithms need to be sequential, the absence of manual muscle testing and not ascertaining the most original trauma, and the stress on toxins are some of the weaknesses in the system. I usually do not use it in my practice except as homework for my clients. If a client experiences a difficulty in between sessions on any issue, TFT or EFT, because of how easy they are to learn, can be utilized by them. I also will test for psychological reversals with certain issues as a springboard for treatment by manual muscle testing. The energy psychology field owes a huge debt to Dr. Callahan. More than anyone else, he has popularized energy psychology to the general public, and most mental health clinicians are only aware of his system. His advocacy of psychological reversals has been invaluable.